So what we're just going to do is cover how to comp vacant lots and land, because sometimes you get those come through. So really, what kind of questions are you asking yourself when you're about to run those comps? And so when you get a lot that you're looking to comp, basically you're looking for a few factors that's going to make it where you can derive the value, right? So one of those is there any other new construction in the area, right? So what does that relate to? If you have a piece of land and you're looking around and there's literally nothing developed, it's not going to be very easy to come up with the value, right? So you're basically, when you're doing your comparables and you're searching out, you're doing anything from 2007, 2008 onwards to see if it got constructed. So you can use that kind of same 12 years plus that we're using with the comps. Okay, and then what you want to be doing is you want to be seeing if there's a trend. So a trend in size. So if all your new builds are 1,500 square feet, then when you're building your new house, you know that you're going to have to come to roughly that size, right? So if all your comps are 1,400, you're not going to be building a $2,000 square foot property. Okay. So another thing that you're looking for is you're going to be looking for the cost of construction. So when you're building a new house, it's going to be per square foot. So if you're in a lower end neighborhood, you might be at $80, $90 a square foot. But then if you're going up into the nice areas, River Oaks, you might be at over 200 a square foot, right? So it can get pretty expensive. So what do you think one way is that you can find out how much they're costing in that area? You can call up local builders, right? Look at the properties that you have found, the new build comps that you found, pull up the tax roll, find out who built that property, who sold that property, give them a call and ask them, tell them, I've got a lot in this area. Would you be interested in buying another lot? Can you give me a rough idea how much it would cost to build this property? How much did you build that one for, right? They're going to give you an off the ball number. So if all your comps are, let's say, 1,200 square feet, and Sunnyside, you're running them the same way, you're still looking at the same area, you're still looking at the same proximity, you're not crossing over any of the major roads, kind of what we went on with comping, then your repair bid is essentially your cost to develop that house. So if we have a 1,200 square foot property, we need to get to that square footage, and it is, let's say, $80 or let's say $90 a square foot. How much does that cost to build that property? $108,000, right? So what does that equate to? That equates to your repair estimate, right? So depending on what market you're in and what they're selling for, that you're going to come up with your value using this as your repair estimate. So let's say these 1,200 square foot comps, right? They were all in a kind of a lower end neighborhood, right? So maybe they were going for 160. So 160 is what? It's our ARV, right? The new build. And our repair is now the 108. So we could still use the 78% rule, right? But you also have to take into account that a new build is not going to be as quick as a quick flip, right? Because you're going from ground up. If all these 1,200s are a slab foundation, what do you have to do? You have to go and pour a slab, right? You got to frame the whole house. You got to start from bottom to top. So the holding period is going to obviously be longer on a new build. What else do they have to do? They've got to get new building permits for construction. It's just a much longer process. So if you're still pushing out at a higher percentage deal, you got to take into account that it's going to be held. It's going to be a lot longer. So when they're doing their formula to figure out if they're going to make profit, they're obviously going to have where if you were on a flip, you might be at 3 to 5, 6 months. This can take 8, 9, 10 months potentially, depending on the builder and how good they are, right? How fast they are and how many of these they've done. So let's estimate on this one that we are selling to them at 78%. Right? What is our value? What is our offer going to be on that lot? So you're using your same formula, but now your 108 is your repair.
124.
No, what was your? Yeah. 63. So what are we selling it at? And what are we offering it? So 160. All right, so we could sell that lot at 16,800. Correct?
Yeah, I got the same thing.
Yep. So how cheap do we need that lot? Pretty cheap,
Yeah,
right? So we're at about 4,800 here. So you can see kind of how in the lower end neighborhoods, it's pretty difficult on a number of occasions to make that work for these lots, right? Because the cost of development is so high, but if your value is not substantially high, it's definitely difficult to work with them. So what I would do is, one, after you've looked and see if there's new construction, contact a builder, find out roughly what they're paying. I would go and look and see what those lots are selling for, right, on the MLS. So do your lot comp search and find out maybe they're selling a little bit higher, okay? Because on this scenario, I'm offering pretty low. But on the flip side, what does that equate to? If you're in a lower income neighborhood, you have to offer very low for the property. But then what happens when this value goes up, right? You can pay a lot more for the lot. So if you're in a high-end neighborhood, River Oaks, Montrose, West University, you know, your value is going up into the potentially the millions, right? So then obviously that pushes down to the value of the land. Right? So if your house is worth, let's say, you know, 1.2 million, which is very common within the loop, within, you know, River Oaks, and your square footage was 3,000, and let's say it cost you high-end finishes, let's say you did 170 a square foot, how much is that going to cost you to develop? 510? Nice house, you know, but now your ARVs on those new build comps of 3,000 or 1.2 million. So now what do you think the land is worth? Can you calculate that? So you're doing 1.2 million?
426.
426, all right. You're definitely going to want to try to make a bigger fee on this one, right? Especially if we have to double close on it. But now you know that you can sell that around 426. So you can see the big disparity, right? You can see that the lots that are a lot more attractive are the ones that are a little bit higher end. Because when you have a low ARV, it's going to be a pretty big squeeze to fit in your development cost and the land purchase. All right. Where do we find our comparables?
The
On the MLS, right? So what section are you using?
Lots.
Yeah, so there's a lot section. Go in there, go kind of a little bit further back, see if you can find anything to see what they're selling for. Because the easiest way to do it is to go on and see if they have a low days on market for lots in that area and what they've been selling for, because then you can feel a little bit confident that it could be something that we could potentially list and sell if it's there, right? The low days on market. Hey, what's up, guys? Joe Davis here from Rightway Home Solutions. Thank you for watching our latest video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also, press the bell, get the notifications for all future videos. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, or jump over to our website, jvtherightway.com. We have some great stuff on there. And if you have any questions relating to this video or this topic, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I can jump on and answer any questions, or one of our team members here at Rightway can answer any questions that you might have related to this topic. So thanks, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.